Sorry, my friend. The part one of this clip number 15 was just cut off somewhere along the way, but I'm gonna continue with part B of this clip number 15. And so I was saying that if you have followed me very carefully so far, you will discover that the same people give three different versions of their arrival in the DRC, and where they come from. And once again, they distort the history that you and I were taught from primary school. Because this is not a preschooler student who is speaking on the social media. He's a doctor. And so I would like to leave you with a few questions that you can ask them whenever you come across with them. Ask them to give you the clear answer to this question. One, in the USA, we know that the federal government recognizes Indian tribes as tribal nations. Do they also know that in Africa, kingdoms are also recognized as kingdom nations? In other words, they are independent states with a proper nationality, proper political, military, economic, and justice systems. Do they know that the colonial authority in Congo, in the Congo Free State and the Belgian Congo, recognize the customary law of indigenous people and incorporated them into their own colonization framework? So when they say that there were no country before 1885, they lie, because kings were monarchs, and kings in Africa are the law. It's not like here that you say that no one is above the law. But in kingdom, especially in Africa, pre-colonial and post-colonial, the king is the law. The people are recognized by the name of the king, and the country or the state is recognized by the name of the king. Number two, Dr. Kaniki here said that their grandparents came from Burundi, from Rwanda, from Tanzania in 1804. So if we ask this, do you know that in 1804, there were already at least 3 kings in existence in Burundi? King Ntare Rusashi, or Ntare First, Ntare Second, and Mwezi Kisabo. That's in Burundi at that particular date, 1804. In Rwanda, there were already at least 7 kings, including Yuhi Gahindiro, Mutara Rogera, and Rwabugiri, who is here recognized by George West and Jacques the Persian. And in Tanzania, at that particular date at which their grandparents may have migrated into the DRC, in Tanzania there were small states and kingdoms that formed what Karl Peters called the Society of German Colonization, through treaties with local chiefs, a different version of what Henry Morton Stanley did with local chiefs to form what is known as the Congo Free State, the Belgium Congo, the Congo Leopoldville, Zaire, and today the DRC. Question number 3 to ask: when they crossed into the Congo, did they come with the name Mulenge from Tanzania? Did they come with the name Mulenge from Burundi? Did they come with the name Mulenge from Rwanda? Do we still have people called by that name Mulenge in those countries where they came from? Question number 4. What do you call the population under a king? How do we call the population under a king? Are they not called subject of such and such king? So when they crossed into the Congo, were they not subject of the king from which they left in search of pastures? If they came from Rwanda, were not subject of the king of Rwanda when they crossed into the kingdom, into the DRC? When they came from Burundi, were they not subject of the king of Burundi? The same thing from when they came from Rwanda. Do they know, or do they pretend to know and tell you that when they crossed into the Congo, whether in the 16th century or in 1804 or or during the reign of Rabugiri, did they not cross into the kingdom nations that were already settled in the area, namely the kingdom of the Bafuliru and the kingdom of the Bavira, as testified by George West and Jacques de Belchamp? Do these authors call them by Mulenge name or by Banyarwanda or Rwanda name? If when they cross into the DRC at that particular time, pre-colonial, and when these researchers came to study the area, why did they call them Mulenge? Why did they call them Banyarwanda? Were they racist? Were they hating them? Or that's what they were? They were the subject of the king of Rwanda? Because they came during the reign of those kings. And so they were the subject. They were Banyarwanda because they were subject of the king of Rwanda. And so, lastly, is it not the name Mulenge a hill, a mountain, a name of a pygmy or Mutwa in Swahili? If the answer is yes, are the Banyarwanda Congolese today that are in South Kivu, in the Haut Plateau, those are claiming that they have ancestors origin in those areas, are they Bahutu? Are they Batwa? Are they Pygmies? I don't think they will tell you that they are Pygmies, because the only link that we can have with that name is to be a descendant of a Pygmy. And so if they are not Pygmy, then they have no right to that name. It's a local name and it belongs to the Bafuliru, and so they have the right to be Congolese, but they don't have the right to claim a name that is ancestral to Bafuliru. They don't have the right to claim ancestral place, sites that belong to other people. And so, my friend, I'll finish by telling you that we have, next time we're going to talk about the Mandate B that was discussed here in New York about the Rwanda-Urundi, which was under Mandate B of the League of Nations. Just to explain again that the Banyarwanda that in South Kivu, in the DRC, are not entitled to Congolese of origin, as they are not entitled to the name Mulenge. Thank you. And don't forget, this is part B of clip number 15. And try to read the description, subscribe, and share. Thank you.